We're dealing with corruption, mismanagement, all above. I could say worse, but I won't right now. First speaker is going to be Axel Aberman. Just try to hold our comments to 5 minutes at least, please. If everybody can sit around. Save Mount Vernon started a couple of years ago. We started on unsolved murders, shootings in the city of Mount Vernon because the leadership wasn't doing anything. Over the last 3 years, we branched out to other issues within the city, getting involved because we care. So many issues have came upon us that we talked about. School board, library, police department, building department, zombie homes, rats, slum landlords. Been there, we talked about it. Protesting, gun violence. When the mayor didn't want to do a gun buyback, we put pressure on her. She said, old guns don't kill. I said, she's lying. They do. I'm asking y'all, understand these messages from the people that's going to speak today. Take these messages and share them. Share the videos. I understand more people should be out here, but I'm satisfied right now. This message will be out. Share it. I'm going to speak on it later. Axel's going to come to the mic and speak. And please, when you finish, give a round of applause.
Thank you, Jesse. To those who don't know me, my name is Axel Iberman. I am with the Mount Vernon Civic Integrity Project. We are a group of concerned residents who are fed up with the dysfunction in our city. Yeah! Thank you, Save Mount Vernon, for putting this together. This is important, and thank you all for being here. It's important to come out. The reality is the city's broke. School district is broke. The library, our beautiful Carnegie Library, is in shambles, and the governance is broken. Building department in here, if you've ever been here, you know they don't do their job. It's a catastrophe. Parking garages over there. My wife is an architect. She forbids me to park in there because that thing has cracks all over the concrete. The people in charge are gaslighting us and telling us everything is okay, everything is wonderful, but we have eyes to see and we know it's not. Just last week, I wrote a letter to the library board and said that the president cannot run for another term. I wrote to the Board of Regents, New York State. What does the library board do? They vote, change the bylaws, and now the president wants to run for a third term. This is how things work around here. It's illegal. It shouldn't be working this way, and we have to insist that this is not happening on our watch. Mount Vernon doesn't have to be like that. We got a real city. Look around you. We have neighbors who come out, neighbors who care. This is worth fighting for. And we can have a government that works for us. I brought my son. I want him to go to school in Mount Vernon. I want him to get a good education at our school district. I believe in public schools. We can have a library where rules apply to the board. We can have a police department that people can trust, and when you call them, they actually come out. We can have a building department in here that does their job and picks up a phone. We can have all of that. We just have to stop accepting less. As the next step, school and library elections for the boards are May 19. If you don't go out and vote, nothing is going to change. Get informed, vote, bring your neighbors, drag him off their couch. It ain't that hard. Read our work at mvcip.org. That's our mailing list. You can come up to me. I can sign you up. This is our city, and we can change it. Speak up, show up, and vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Axel. Great comments. Let's not listen to what we're saying today. Take it home and think about it. Somebody in your family that wasn't here can, share that message to them, what was talked about. If you get the video, send it to your family members. Because the only way we can change moving forward, I hate using that word moving forward because that's the mayor's term of the city. Change our direction in the way we move our city. So let's not just take these words and commentary from the people that care. You got to share it. Jeff Monroe is going to speak next. Let's try to limit our time speaking. There's a few people here I think is going to speak as well. Why is she laughing at me? Why is she laughing over there?
Greetings, community. Thank you, Jesse. And just before I start, I want to shout out Jesse, because Jesse's been doing this for, at least with me and my familiarity with Save Mount Vernon, and he's been doing this since COVID, or actually before COVID. And I want to shout out Jesse and his wife, Adrian, because this is actual real work. Doing community organizing, there's no check for it. In fact, sometimes there's a cost. Sometimes people pay with their freedom and their health and their mental health as well, because quite frankly, it's a thankless job. You do a lot of work to bring people into awareness of their oppression and their victimization, and who's going to thank you? The state certainly won't, and eventually someone's going to benefit from it, but that's why we do the work we do. Having said that, by way of introduction, my name, as Jesse said, my colonial name is Jeff Monroe. That's what part of the name my parents gave me 56 years ago. Most people in the movement, in the African People's Socialist Party, and otherwise know me as Bunupti. That is a Kemetic name. Bunupti coming through is a name I got through a Kemetic, an African ritual process that I won't go into now. But the point is, the duality of Jeff and Bunupti, for a lot of people, don't realize that is the everyday reality of African people. Whether you call yourself John, Kwame, or whatever it is, you live in a colonial system. You live in a situation where government doesn't work because it's not meant to serve you. I'm here to talk about all of the things that many of us are here to talk about, or at least hear about. And I understand that the building behind us, City Council, and the mayor is housed. The building behind us houses these people and their administrations or their work. We have a police department that does the same, and quite frankly, these bodies are meant to serve people they're meant to protect people from danger or keep them safe from natural dangers of life. Supposed to serve our basic needs: food, shelter, clothing, safety, etc. But this is a government that's based on something that we call colonialism. We don't talk about it, but it's real. There's a reason that the main thoroughfare of this community is Route 22, and it's named after Christopher Columbus. And they will not take the name down unless they make them. We won't. I'm going to talk over it because I'm on the mic. But the siren that you hear in the background is most appropriate because we are in an emergency. We're literally being killed, if not physically, at least mentally and emotionally, by a government that doesn't work for us. And it's not meant to work for us. Christopher Columbus, the founding fathers, the slave system, the capitalism that we run through to this day is not meant to serve us. It's meant to serve a ruling class. Last time I came to this mic to talk about some of this, I used two words. I used systemic and systematic. I want to remember that we have two issues working against us. The systemic realities of a so-called justice system, a finance system, etc., and the systematic aspect of those systems, the systematic parts of the agents of the state, the people whose job descriptions are to actually engage the public, whether it's a cop in the street, a teacher in a classroom, a judge. There are systemic and systematic dualities to why we're oppressed the way we are. The colonial realities of Mount Vernon doesn't just start with the fact that this is stolen land from people who were genocided and moved out of here. It continues with the fact that even though this is a black community, it hasn't always been that. It is a black community now. At least 60% of the people who live here, on the record or off, are descendant of African people or descended from indigenous people from every other place in the Western Hemisphere or the Caribbean or even Africa. That neo-colonial reality is what we have to contend with. It's neo-colonial because the colonial realities that ended more or less in the 50s, where people went from Germany or Spain or Portugal and they went to literally live places and settle them, they now take the people from the indigenous places they stole and they leave people who are from the populations and create government that still serves the colonial powers. Neo-colonialism is what you have in Mount Vernon. It's why you have a black mayor and a mostly black school district and a mostly black city council who still serves white supremacist capitalist systems. It's not because these are bad people necessarily. Some of them are horrendous people, but that's not the point. The point is we have a system that brings even good people, whether they're a good president, good governor, good mayor, etc., they're going to serve a bad system. I was in the military too, and I wasn't a horrendous person. I wasn't a pedophile. But I guarantee you it was a horrendous military, because the Persian Gulf era literally murdered millions of Iraqis and eventually Afghanistanis. And at this point, you can see the Iranian counterpoint to what's going on, because it began actually in the 70s. But I'm just saying that everyone here, including myself, is accountable for serving this colonial system. And it's our job to end that relationship. I want you all to remember that when you try to make this government better. You're not going to make a rotten apple worth eating. It's better to actually grow a tree that you can eat the fruit off of. We can do that here in Mount Vernon, but it takes you, all of you, and your neighbors. I don't care what your politics are, blue, red, Democrat or Republican. Frankly, those parties are garbage to me anyway, but that's not the point. If you're a human being and you care about humanity, get with the people that run this government, use this land. They're supposed to be using land to feed people. They don't give us arable land to grow food for our children and our families. We're losing grocery stores for a reason, because capitalists are here to run grocery stores to make money. They're not here to nourish you and your kids. We have to keep that reality in mind. Lastly, I want to come around to really what are some of the most material and urgent ways that we can deal with that. I'm part of a campaign that's called AIPAC Out. I want to keep you, quite frankly, focused on the fact that we have a mayor who on October 10th, two days after the so-called October 7th terrorist action in Israel. It was called the Al-Aqsa Flood. It was a resistance action by oppressed people who were colonized for the previous 40 years against their colonizer. The Al-Aqsa Flood on October 7th was just one way to resist four people who were at their wits' end. Our enslaved ancestors did the same thing. We don't call them terrorists, and if you do, you're a horrendous person. The Al-Aqsa Flood was literally condemned, really by the African American Mayors Association, by our mayor who was the president of the association. She stood with Israel on October 10th, 2023, because AIPAC owns her, the mayors, the governors, and the president, this and the last president, and the previous 47 presidents before, 20 presidents. The point is, they're all colonial. They've really only been Israel owned since they killed off Kennedy. But that's another issue. What we have to deal with is how AIPAC actually deals with the ownership of politicians that are supposed to actually serve us now. We have to deal with that. Congressman Bowman, before he lost his campaign to an AIPAC-owned politician named Latimer, who used to come to this podium, this rotunda anyway, and brag about how he's a Mount Vernonite and he loves Mount Vernon, he's working class. Now he's a genocide advocating congressman. AIPAC owns that person. We have to get AIPAC out of politics, and we have to get these people who are willing to bow to AIPAC out of our community, or at least out of the business of taking money from us to supposedly serve us. We have to get on top of that, and I actually want a comrade of mine to give a little more detail on what AIPAC is, but understand that our local politics is as relevant overseas as anyone thinks that it might not be. Because I have cousins on the trip. I have at least one second cousin on the Tripoli right now that probably took hits and they're not going to tell you about it in the media. I served on the LPH, whose job it was to send helicopters and Marines over into the Middle East. Right now, they're going to try to do it again in Iran, and people are going to come back dead. And you are not going to hear nothing about it on the news. They're going to talk about how terrorists sent you body bags back home. But you are literally paying money to people to go to Congress or the legislature to send our people into other lands that shouldn't be there. And at the same time, they're depriving us of education, food, good roads, buildings that should stay standing, etc. Keep that in mind and organize. Thank you. Oh, and come by my little table. You'll see more African People's Socialist Party material.
Thank you, Jeff Moreau, my brother. It keeps it real. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove a sign. Me and my partners work hard for our signs. Out of respect for me and my organization, Save Mount Vernon, no disrespect. When somebody does something wrong, we let you know about it. We work hard for that sign. But I'll wear the shirt though. Again, Jeff, thank you. John Gallagher is the next speaker. Like I said again, we work hard for these signs. If you want to take your shirt and put it up somewhere else, I don't have a problem with it, but not over my signs. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is John Gallagher. I've lived in the city of Mount Vernon since 1978. I'm here quite a while. I'm a boy from Brooklyn. When I was in Brooklyn, I was a fighter. When I came to Mount Vernon, I realized all the problems that were going on in Mount Vernon. And I said to myself, first of all, where is Mount Vernon? And it was my late wife that brought me here. It was under her influence that I decided I wanted to live here. In so doing, I realized that Mount Vernon needed help back in 1978. Okay, and when I was looking at Mount Vernon, I realized there was situations that needed to be done. I helped form a group called Concerned Property Owners. I was the president of that group for many, many years. We not only represented people from the north side, the west side, the east side, and the south side. We had homeowners and property owners with us. We even had renters that came with us because we believed that we can make Mount Vernon better by just taking out all the dirtiness that goes on in Mount Vernon and corruption. Is that going on today? Yes. I thank everybody who came out here tonight, but I wish I would have seen a bigger number of people out here. And what you can do here to help us, Mount Vernon needs change. There's a number of people in Mount Vernon that are working, that are trying to change Mount Vernon in a proper way. And by so doing, what we want to do is to change Mount Vernon for the better of everyone that lives here. We want this to be a community where people are attracted to come. And how do you do that? Well, you eliminate crime, you eliminate a poor school system, a poor library system, and bring stores, bring commerce, bring industry here, retail. That was one of our goals. We've spoken at city council meetings, board meetings. In order to make Mount Vernon move and move in the right direction, we need investment here, the right type of investment. What we've had for the last 40-something years, at least, in Mount Vernon is poor investment. We've had people that have come here that are looking to make money on Mount Vernon at your expense. Right. Yes, at your expense, with taxes, with bad services, and whatnot. And what we're trying to do here, all of us people that are here right now, and I see some of the groups there, I know some of the groups, I'm helping them indirectly and directly get across. Mount Vernon needs change. And you're the population right here, the group that can make change. If you don't think we need change, then you wouldn't be here. And I know you know it. So what you can do as ambassadors to put Mount Vernon on the right track, and we got to get on the right track. It can be done. In spite of all the odds against us, we have a city government that works against us. We have a county government that works against us. Yeah, you pay taxes. You think you're getting services? You're not getting the services you deserve, okay? And that goes to state, too. And I don't care what party you're in. I don't care if you're a Republican. I don't care if you're a Democrat. You got to realize what's running this city. And what it is power brokers that got puppets as politicians that are ruling your lives. And and not only ruling, I should say ruining your lives. You don't know it. We don't get the services we deserve. And we pay a good amount of taxes for the service we deserve. And by the way, it doesn't stop at state level. It stops at federal level, too. You know, we're not getting the representation we should. This is not a democracy, ladies and gentlemen. You're living in a situation where you have a group of powerful people that control your politicians, and you don't get anything out of it. Do you see your streets fixed? Do you see the roads fixed? No. Do you see crime ended? No. Do you see people buying buildings that are affiliated with state politicians and local politicians getting property for nothing? And then you get developers that come in here under pilot programs. By the way, I am a big opponent of pilot programs. I've been since day one. If you don't believe it, go look at the lawsuits. You'll see whose name is on a number of them. And the reason why I was against them, not that we don't need good housing and whatnot, because these developers who are carpetbaggers don't live in Mount Vernon. They come here, they draw a lot of money to themselves, give us nothing in return. They promise to do this, promise to do that. Do you see these promises being fulfilled? I don't see them being fulfilled. I see emptiness here. I see empty promises. I see a city going in the wrong direction. These pilots, these people that get pilots, do not pay taxes. They don't pay any amount, a fair share of their taxes. Who picks that up? Guess what? You do. And in a lot of conversations I have with people who live in Mount Vernon, they'll say, Mr. Gallagher, I don't own property in Mount Vernon. How is it affecting me? Well, you pay rent. And guess what? Your landlords have to pay the taxes for your share of it. So your rent goes up. So if you want to make changes in Mount Vernon, it's on all of us here and the people that should be here today. Where they are, I know there's a sentiment of people not caring, but you should care. If you want to change Mount Vernon, you yourself have got to get involved. And you say, well, it's a hard thing to do. No, it's not. I talk to a lot of people. I live right across the street from Pennington. I know a lot of the parents there. I talk to them. I talk to them about what's important to you, and they'll say to me, well, I get about the schools. What about the city? And I explain to them, and a lot of them don't understand. They don't know what's going on here. We need people in government that represent us, that have honesty and integrity. Boy, they're two tough words, aren't they? But that's what we need, honesty and integrity. And you can help make the changes. We've got to work together. We've got to help out people that want to do the right thing. And are there some in politics? Yes. And are there some that are in this community that want to make those changes? Yes. Support them. We may not agree with everything that each one of us want or support or are proponents for, but you know what? Any change in Mount Vernon has to be better than what we have right now. So be part of making the changes. Thank you, and God bless all of you.
How can I get a job?
Thank you, Mr. Gallagher. We got a little entertainment over here. We're trying to move out the way. Yes, yes. God is good all day, every day. Next speaker is Greg Bonaparte.
Mount Vernon, the city of homes, or the city of missing money, the city of political corruption, and the city that gives away our money to developers. Our elected officials don't care. They have human waste pumped into the city from Bronxville. They have a cancer-causing medical waste incinerating, pumping toxins that our children breathe every day. Our officials allow communities to send their sex offenders, mental health patients, homeless into Mount Vernon that we have to take care of. So let's vote and get them out of office. Nope. Many believe their votes don't even count. And our elected officials are chosen, not elected. We are mad at Washington because we need to hold the same anger at the officials in Mount Vernon. We're victimized. We have a mayor that runs around City Hall saying that she's protected. Protected from what? So we need to come, we need to double the people out here. We need to make sure we talk to our neighbors. We need to come out for the school board, the library board. We need to be together. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. Appreciate the words. Again, take these words and take them home. You got a family member, somebody in your family that couldn't make it today because work is sick or scared to come out because of retaliation. I said that when the city workers here, this administration will definitely hold you back. You come to work and you got a problem. You got a supervisor over your neck, worried about you coming in late now. Too many days off. I don't need to go through it. Jeff. Adil, she's going to speak? Yes. We have another speaker. It's going to keep it real. Appreciate it.
Peace be upon you all. Good morning, good afternoon. Thank you so much, Jesse and Benupti, for organizing this. It's great to be in Mount Vernon again. My name is Hadil Sarrar, and I am the co-founder of Westchester for Palestine. We are a community of activists who we launched after the flood of Aqsa in 2023 as a way to start exposing all of the politicians who work not in support or for their residents, but instead to support a government that genocide my people in Palestine, in the Middle East, but also work against us here as American citizens. We also been focusing a lot on the community building and political education, and actually Mount Vernon is such a dear place to my heart. We did a couple of political education screening in the library until we got kicked out. We'll talk about that very soon. We should, because we loved it, the people loved it, but someone else did not love it. But then we start coming here with flyers talking about our joint struggle, how the struggle of the Palestinian people is the same struggle of our people in Sudan, our people in Congo. And pretty much as American Palestinian, I can see also the Palestinian struggle. It's very similar to what we're facing right now. It's just in a different scale. And currently, we decided to join the national campaign, AIPAC Out, which Brother Benupti started talking about AIPAC a little bit, because through AIPAC, which is the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, it's only one organization of the Israeli lobby, which is the power that the government uses to make funding Israel legal, technically. This is their tool to be able to take our tax money, funnel it to Israel. $38 million before the flood of Aqsa, before 2023, the United States used to send annually to Israel, the Israeli occupation. And this is not just for war and military, this is to support the settlement and settlers, to have better houses, better education, better medical care, better everything that we're here struggling with, everything that we're missing here. And then after the flood of Aqsa, these numbers increased exponentially, due to all of the accusation that they want to support the military. And the American Israeli Public Affairs technically has spent over $100 million in recent U.S. election to support blindly pro-Israel candidates while targeting lawmakers who oppose Israel genocide in Gaza and put the needs of working people first. And in this way, AIPAC wields immense influence over both foreign and domestic U.S. policy. And AIPAC and Israel's outsized influence on our politics has gone unchecked for far too long. It threatens free speech, devastates workers' economic interests, and promotes endless war and sabotage international diplomacy, all at the cost of the American people. So now, currently, as we're seeing primaries and all of the election vibes coming up, we have, I don't know if you've seen online, but there is like a picture of a candidate, and it will say AIPAC free or AIPAC free, and it's good, right? It's good that we're all having this awareness that we should support candidates who are not being funded by AIPAC, because once a politician is funded by AIPAC, that means that politician already said, I'm with you. Whatever Israel need, we're gonna vote yes once we take that seat. So when we see those candidates APAC free, that's a good start. But also we all should be aware that we're not against APAC as an organization. So if tomorrow the United States said no APAC, it's not about that organization specifically. It's about having any entity in the United States that work to take our tax dollars that we spend every minute, every time. We waste time from spending with our families to get those dollars. So any organization that takes that money and funnel it to commit genocide somewhere else, and instead of funnel it for our schools, our clinic, our medical care, our houses, our parks, we're against it. So APAC Out works on two levels. First, exposing all of the candidates and politicians who are funded by APAC and expose the connection. But second is to raise awareness within our communities and our circle and our working groups in order for us to be aware on the long run of how to fight it, because it's going to be a long fight. But again, I'm really grateful to be here. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for this gathering. I hope we see more of it in Mount Vernon, in Westchester in general. Free Palestine, free Congo, free Sudan, free the American working class, and inshallah soon liberation. Thank you all.
Thank you, Adil. Appreciate it. Appreciate the words. Like I said, every word in the comment here means something to me. I hope it does to you as well. Next speaker is Tamara Stewart, library advocate.
Good afternoon, Mount Vernon. Not only do I have the pleasure of addressing all of you, I also have the opportunity to have a mic to address Hope Marable, who's sitting right over there. The same person who will not allow the public to speak at our damn library. The same person who is running for an illegal third term. Okay? So it is an honor to speak to my community, and it is a pleasure to speak directly to the person who is ruining our library. Now, I'm not going to go on for too long. I have a flyer, and I'm just going to read you what Hope Marable's accomplishments are on the library board. She was removed from the board in 2023 by the Board of Regents for neglect of duty. She defied New York State and illegally changed the library laws the day after they received a letter saying she was not eligible to run for a third term. I already told you she suspended public expression back in September. Couldn't take it. Couldn't take the public getting up and having their 3 minutes to ask the questions they wanted to ask of the board and to have an opinion that didn't agree with what she was doing. She lost a lawsuit in 2025 over her illegal attempt to acquire 101 Summit Avenue and forced the school district to use $1.7 million tax dollars for a bond for that building. She had the library spend $138,000 in legal fees in 2024-25. She overspent the library's $4.8 million budget by $600,000 in 2023-24 and $500,000 in 24-25. Don't know how much she's overspent this year because they never released a budget for the 2025-26 school library year, and that's over on June 30th, and we still don't know what the budget is from July 1st of last year. Spent almost $30,000 on the DMX program on December 21st, 2024. Had the library pay $1,900 for library trustees to attend 2 gala events. had the library illegally reimburse her more than $1,200 for transportation to library meetings, which is against the law. She failed to provide the public with the library's 2024-25 and 25-26 budgets, and she's done nothing to address the lack of air conditioning in the library. See, our money is going for these fancy events where she can show off in front of her important friends and serve them refreshments and whatnot. But meanwhile, in the summertime, the people who are trying to use computers in the cyber corner and the staff over in the circulation area don't have proper air conditioning. And in the wintertime, the community room is freezing. But her priorities are on having events, like the event that's going to be over there tomorrow afternoon from 3 to 5, where they budgeted $10,000 to pay Judge Hatchett to come and promote her children's book. And by the way, that $10,000 limit, they're going to go past that. Because obviously, people on the board, including Hope Marable, don't know how to do math. So the invoice from Judge Hatchett was $5,000 for the books, $3,000 for the honorarium, $900 plus for the first class plane ticket to bring her here, and get this, $1,000 for the limousine to take her to and from LaGuardia Airport. Had they asked me, I would have happily gone and picked up Judge Hatchett and brought her to Mount Vernon and took her back for a lot less than $1,000. But since it wasn't her money, no problem. Now that doesn't include opening the building on a Sunday. That doesn't include having refreshments at the event. That doesn't include paying staff to be there. That doesn't include paying security to be there. That doesn't include renting chairs. Figure out what it's all said and done. It's going to be close to $15,000 to have Judge Hatchett come for 2 hours tomorrow afternoon from 3 to 5. Now, I have nothing against Judge Hatchett. She doesn't know that our library is struggling. She doesn't know what's being done by Hope Marable and those other sycophants that she has on the library board. But I want all of you to know that that's where your money is going, and that's what's happening at our library. And it is incumbent upon you and your family and your friends and your neighbors to come out on May the 19th, and y'all need to say no to hope.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tamara Stewart. Like I said, take these words and these comments. Just don't leave here with them and forget about it. You got to talk to your family. Let them know what's being said today. It means something. It means for the city, the leadership, the way the city is running. Yes. Dr. Cassandra Hyacinth, hope I said it right. Mount Vernon Reform.
Thank you, Jesse. Good afternoon, folks. I'm Dr. Cassandra Hyacinth, a 40-year resident of Mount Vernon, also an administrator, assistant principal at Longfellow Elementary School back in time and at the high school. 40 years living in Mount Vernon, not really seeing our city progress in a way that it should. A group of concerned residents came together. We are Mount Vernon Reform. We believe Mount Vernon deserves the same standards of transparency, accountability, and professionalism that successful cities across the country already rely on. Our goal is not to centralize power or create a new political class. It is to shift power away from insiders and back toward neighborhoods, professional expertise, and public interest. We want a government that is responsive to the citizens that live here. Mount Vernon Reform is proposing 3 petitions, 3 ballot initiatives for the November 2026. The first is the city manager and commissioner of finance, similar to a New Rochelle. Our current administration is close to and knows about what's happening in New Rochelle. We need to have the same sort of structures and restructuring. District representation. Currently, we have 5 at-large council members. We would like to see 1 at-large council member and then divide Mount Vernon into 4 distinct district council areas. So you have a designated city council member, you know who to go to, that individual will know the priorities and concerns and be able to elevate and be responsive to those concerns. Let me go back a minute. The city manager would be strengthened with a commissioner of finance. The city manager would be a chief operating officer overseeing the departments and the daily operations, not tied to politics, selected through a national search where we could demand credentials and qualifications of proven experience and expertise. The Commissioner of Finance provides fiscal professional oversight, has a background in economics and finance, and has been able to oversee and monitor and support a city's budget. Both positions would be professional, non-political, free from campaign pressure, and removable for poor performance. If we were to achieve a city manager system, then the mayor would be more aligned to the city council. The mayor still would be leadership, the face of your city. The mayor would be tied with the city council in terms of policy and legislation. And our last petition is nonpartisan primary. This means that we would be able to have primaries where it doesn't matter your party affiliation. Everyone can vote for qualified candidates. The top 2 qualified candidates would go to a general election. These 3 ballot initiatives, we're working very hard to present to our city council and hopefully move forward to the Board of Elections in White Plains for the November 2026. We are all working so hard. People that I've talked to as they're signing the petitions are disheartened. They have a lack of trust. Their quality of life is not where it needs to be. We no longer have Little League. We no longer have a YMCA. Folks are saying they hear and see all these developers, but no one is addressing the affordability issue. No one is supporting families that have been displaced. No one is helping these folks that are struggling and need support in our city. City council can do the right thing. We should not have to do this. City council could sign and move forward on these referendums or reforms that would improve our city charter. Please consider doing the right thing for those you represent.
Thank you all for being here today. I'm David Reich. I have Dr. Hyacinth beat in terms of how long I've been a resident. I was born here.
All right.
Right down the street there, Mount Vernon Hospital, 70-something years ago. Anyway, I love this city. That's why I'm still here. I haven't moved away. And I see so much potential. There are so many good people in this city, good people with a lot to offer, who care. There's so much that can be done to make this city what it should be, what it could be. And I think it's just criminal that the folks in the building behind us just are doing nothing other than taking and taking and taking, but they're not doing for us, for the people who live here, who pay taxes, who pay rent, and it's time for change. I just want to say, Dr. Hyacinth mentioned the 3 initiatives. These come from almost 2 years of hard work by a committee that actually was appointed by the mayor to look at reforms to our city charter. So after 2 years of hard work, working with an organization, I think it's called the League of Cities, or but a
National Civic League.
The National Civic League. I'm sorry.
100 years.
And we have found that the city manager form of government is something that is used successfully by 67% of all the cities around the country, not just New Rochelle, White Plains, Peekskill, but so many cities around the country, and it works. So that's what we need to move toward so that we can move forward. Just one quick thing, an example of kind of the backwards thinking of the city. The comprehensive plan that the City Council approved is really a lot of nothing. A lot of money was spent to develop that plan, something like $600,000 of our dollars, and it really does not address the true needs of the city. Our planning department is just not doing its job. They're not really working. They have no plan to bring in business and retail here, things that would bring more tax dollars in to help ease the burden for the taxpayers. So there's so much that could be done, that needs to be done, and that's why we're hoping that you'll support these three initiatives that we hope to get on the ballot for November. Thank you.
Thank you. Mount Vernon Reform. Bill Swartz is going to speak. He ran for city council and they kind of don't understand what he was saying, but he's going to let you know what he's saying right now. Trust me. Yes.
Look around us. Us. Not these people. Look at us. You don't have to be in a room that smells like crap to know there's crap in there. You don't have to. I don't have to keep telling everybody who comes up here saying how bad these people are doing. And it starts with Mayor that somebody calls Shirley. And I know why they call her Shirley. Because surely she don't have our best interests in mind. Surely she can't run Mount Vernon. Surely she just cares about the developers. And work your way on down. The city council isn't for us. They're for Shirley. And whatever she says. But this is everyone knows this. I don't have to point this out. This is what I have to say about us here. Look around us. We have to start voting. I walk this town. We have 60,000 registered voters. 4,000 came out and voted for the primaries. Why? It was too hot? If somebody came by you every day taking money out of your pocket, how long would you let that go on for? You wouldn't. It's our job, our responsibility to us, our taxes, our children. People say, oh, well, I live in this housing area. Don't you understand? If we do better, we'll put pressure on those people who own those housing places to fix your elevators, to keep it clean, to make it safe. We got a broken police department because of them. But it's got to come with us. When are we going to get out and start voting? Look around, if everybody here would have bought one or two people to vote, I think there would have been a change. There's brilliant people in Mount Vernon to do what's right. Because they don't want to do what's right doesn't mean that we can't make them do what's right. It starts with us, Mount Vernon. All of us, we have to step up. We have to bring people in. Because if we can't get the votes, they're going to continue to do what they're going to do. Because if the mayor, she gets out or whatever happens to her, she's replacing them with one of hers. So she can still get paid. So they can get paid. Their family gets paid. And you know who's paying? We're paying. You see this reform? This is where it starts. This is where it starts. We're $600 million in the hole. They can't do their job. They'll say, yeah, that came beforehand, but you haven't helped anything since then. 6 years she's been in here, and what's changed? You know what's changed? They get raises, we pay more taxes. That's what changed. But we all know this. We have to stand up and do something about it. It starts here with this reform. This is where it starts. Let's try to get this on the ballot. Get everybody in there to sign petitions. Let's change this. They say money managers do what they want to do. You're doing what you want to do and robbing us for it. It got to stop, Mount Vernon. We have to change this. We have to. Let's start today. Get everybody, let's get these petitions signed, let's get this on the ballot so we can say we made it better, not you. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Swartz. Keeps it real all the time. All the time. Next speaker, we're going to have Ayanna Armstrong.
Come on, let's clap. Everybody come to that mic.
Good afternoon. My name is Ayanna Armstrong, a longtime resident of Mount Vernon. Thank you. And I'm here because moments like this matter. When our country is being pushed into fear instead of hope, division instead of community, we have a responsibility to stand together. We are living under a presidential administration that uses fear-mongering as a political tool. Fear of immigrants, fear of black and brown communities, and fear of our voices. This past week, we watched the Supreme Court weaken key parts of the Voting Rights Act, which opens the door for states to make it harder for black and brown people to vote. Harder to be heard, harder to participate. That wasn't an accident. It was a signal that our power is being targeted because our power is real. But here's the truth. Protecting democracy doesn't start in Washington. It starts right here. It starts with holding every local elected official accountable. It starts with demanding transparency, honesty, and integrity from the people who claim to serve us. It starts with refusing to accept the continuous cycle of corruption that has held this city back for far too long. We are money-earning Mount Vernon, a city built on resilience, brilliance, and community. We deserve leadership that reflects that. We deserve systems that protect us, not harm us. And yes, that includes the Mount Vernon Police Department. I know firsthand the cost of these broken systems. The Mount Vernon Police Department affected me personally when they leaked my protected address as an active participant in the address confidentiality program, a legal shield designated to keep domestic violence survivors' home address off of the public record. That wasn't just a mistake. It was a breach of trust that put my safety at risk. So when we talk about accountability, we aren't just talking about policy, we're talking about our lives. We are talking about the right to feel safe in our own homes without fear that those sworn to protect us will be the ones to expose us. When trust is broken, when accountability is missing, when patterns go unaddressed, we have every right to demand better. Accountability is not disrespect. Accountability is the love we have for our community. We are not powerless, we are not silent, and we are not invisible. Black and brown voters built this democracy, and we will continue to defend it from the Supreme Court to City Hall to every block in Mount Vernon. Thank you.
Thank you, Ayanna Armstrong. Thank you. Next speaker, Mount Vernon Police Officer Derek Williams. We can do better than that. Come on. Come on, Derek.
Hello, everyone. My name is Derek Williams, lifelong resident of Mount Vernon, 45 years. Born Mount Vernon Hospital, went to Our Lady Victory Academy right next door to headquarters, then went to Mount St. Michael, then went to Mount Vernon High School. So I'm a Mount Vernon son. I've been here my whole life. Then not thinking to move anywhere anytime soon. I love Mount Vernon, love my job, never transferred. Showed up to work every day, never complained. And in 2020, we faced one of the worst pandemics in the world, basically. And I never shied away. I showed up to work every day, never complained, doing doubles and triple shifts because apparently it was allowed for some people to stay home during the pandemic because they were high risk. I signed an oath to protect Mount Vernon, and this is what I did. Showed up every day, never complained, okay, until I succumbed to COVID myself. I almost almost took me out. I almost lost my life. And 3 months later, I discovered my kidneys were gone. They were failed. They weren't working anymore. And I worked up until about 3 years until my body failed and gave up on me. But I stayed home and I kind of nursed myself back to health. And for 2 years, the job never called to see how I was doing. They never called to say, come back to work. Are you going to retire? What are you going to do? Not a phone call. Until I asked to come back to work, and I was told no. That there's no more light duty. There's nothing inside for me to do. Basically, you're either going to retire or, you're not getting paid. So I put my retirement in. And I come to discovery that they did nothing to help me, basically. I was home alone, no phone call, no help, no, hey, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to try to help you, nothing. Until I came to work December 2025, and I was issued a termination letter effective the end of the month, which I had to contact Channel 7, and they put an article out and forced the mayor to give me 6 months. I wouldn't say they forced her, but she made this decision to grant me 6 more months, which I'm grateful for. I'm not here to mudsling any names or anything like that. I'm grateful, and I'm going to thank her for that, because I'm able to keep my health insurance. Because with the termination, I would have lost my health insurance, what I just depend on to survive and live day to day. So now I'm just asking to see if I can get my proper pension and get on my back pay from 2023, which I haven't gotten paid. Which I think I deserve it, because when Mount Vernon called on me, I showed up and I didn't turn my back. I didn't say I can't do it, or I didn't say I was afraid or scared. I put my life on the line. And I think that I should at least deserve to get what I earned for all those years. So I would like to thank for the article that they posted for me in Black Westchester magazine. Thank you for the write-up. I appreciate it. And I'm not the best public speaker, but I believe in God and I have faith, and without faith and without God and without my wonderful friends that's standing up for me, I would have been in the corner crying, wanting to know how long I have to live. But hopefully I get a transplant soon, and I'm working with multiple people. A lot of them are here today. So I'm just hoping that I get some type of assistance with that. I'd like to thank everyone in Mount Vernon. But I'm sure you guys just see me on the ESU truck. I used to work on the south side of Mount Vernon for my whole career. Never complained, never. I was here for Mount Vernon, So coming from a lifelong resident, I'm proud of that. All right? I'd like to thank everyone for listening.
Next speaker, former Mount Vernon police officer, my brother, Donald Moore.
Clap it up. Come on. Come on, we out here. We clap better than that. Got a lot of people out here. Come on now.
First of all, I want to thank everybody that showed up. I expected at least some active police officers to be here. Again, my name is Donald Moore Jr. I'm a retired police officer from the city of Mount Vernon. Some of you may recognize me. Some of you may still be pissed off at me because I wrote you paper. But it was nothing personal. It was always business. Okay? I drove all the way up from Virginia on 3 hours sleep to be here today because I support Brother Williams. I want to thank Brother Van Loo. We always talking because when this incident hit Facebook, I lost it. I want to thank Brother Damon Jones, my bow tie wearing friend. He doesn't have one today, but we always in communication. Listen attentively what I'm about to say. I'm here to give you the truth. I worked in the system. I know how the system works. Take this to your family members and other residents of Mount Vernon and tell them it came from Donnie Moore. They will say, he's going to tell you the gospel truth. Okay? So listen attentively. When this issue with Derek blew up on social media in December, I didn't know Derek was sick, to be honest with you. Okay? But when this blew up in December, I said, this can't be. I went online and I searched laws. I was online maybe 6 hours in one day researching the laws of New York State and the federal laws. I then spoke to Brother Damon Jones and told him, listen, I found this bill that was signed in, sweetheart, do me a favor. Go over there and I'll talk to you later. Just go over there. This is business. I researched a bill that was signed into law by Trump. I refuse to call him president. Trump. It was signed in August of 2021. Anything I say today, you can go home and research it, and you will see that it's factual. Trump signed a bill into law that stated all first responders that contract COVID during a certain time period, which Officer Williams was in that time period, it will be considered a line of duty injury or illness. That's federal law that supersedes New York state law. I'm like, but why didn't the union attorney notify the Mount Vernon PBA of this new law? He never told them. Brother Damon's worked for corrections. This attorney, Steve Isaacs, he represented the correctional officers. He told them. But he didn't tell the Mount Vernon PBA. Now here we go. I gotta zip my jacket because my blood pressure's getting up again. I took a double dose this morning. But I wanted to preach the word to you so you take it back. Brother Williams went to a half Negro deputy chief, Gregory Addison, who is not supposed to be a police officer because he lied on his police application. Now you may say, well, Donnie, how do you know? Because I did the investigation. It's documented. And he can be terminated tomorrow. So Brother Derek went to Deputy Chief Addison, explained the situation to him. Now, the one mistake Derek made, and I told him, you didn't put it on paper. Addison told him, you're not eligible for 207C. In layman's terms, if you get injured on the job, and it's documented, you'll receive your New York State pension at 75%, not 50%, 75% tax-free. So I told Brother Williams that, and then I called up Councilman Wallace. I explained everything to him. I was in maybe a 2 or 3 hour call with Brother Jones. He said what he found out 2 cases prior to Derek's case, which was basically the same, it went to the appellate division and the officers won on the appellate level. So that's New York State case law. Derek's physicians stated him getting kidney disease was a result of him contracting COVID. Now, if you research COVID, it affects everybody differently. It was told to everybody. Nobody listened. He went to the PBA representatives. Nobody did anything for him. I spoke to the union president at that time. Sometimes he would return my call, sometimes he wouldn't. I'm like, what happened here? I'm not trying to hear that, because you're dealing with a brother's life. I then called the next president of the PBA, who's presently here. I spoke to him. He was like, Donnie, we did this, we did that, boom, boom. But the end result, the union attorney, Steve Isaacs, didn't try to help Brother Williams. That's BS. It's BS that Deputy Chief Addison, who is not an attorney, who is not versed in this aspect of laws, to tell Officer Williams that he's not eligible for 207C benefits. Okay, I did some more research. And I'm telling you, I'm versed on the internet. When I want to find something, I'll find it. Brother Derek even said he'd come back for light duty. They denied him. Say there's nothing in the manual about light duty. But they've been doing it for the past 50 years. Past practice will uphold in any courtroom. It don't have to be on paper. You did it for 50 years, you got to do it for this brother. But the brother didn't know. Nobody informed him from the union. Now, as time went by, my blood pressure started getting higher. City council meeting, January 28th of this year. I attended the meeting via Zoom because I'm in Virginia. I'm not coming all the way up here for no city council meeting. I told them, this is a travesty. Every city council member stood up and gave Officer Williams basically that words of empathy, sympathy, whatever adverb you want to use, because it was all BS. I said, you need to draft legislation for all future cases of 207A, which deals with firefighters, and 207C, which is in regards to police officers. That was said January 28th. It takes less than a half hour to draft legislation, but you got up there and you feel sorry for Derek. Here we are in May. It has not been done. I said, okay. Brother Jesse told me they're having a rally today. I've been following Brother Jesse and his group through Facebook, commenting when I could, okay? But when he said, Don, we're having a rally for Derek Williams, I said, I'm there, brother, I'm there. Even though I only got 3 hours sleep before I hit the road, but that's all good, because it's personal for me. It's not business. Okay, your mayor, excuse me, I got to take out my spectacles. I had a terminal case a couple of years ago and it affected my eyesight, but I want to make sure that I read it to y'all exactly how it came out. I put on Facebook that I was coming to Mount Vernon today. I knew I was going to get back to your mayor. Well, damn if they didn't hit Facebook. It came out like a bandit. I'm going to read what she said. Give me 1 second here. Okay, here we go. She put on Facebook to cover her ass because she knew I was coming. She thought this was going to deter me from coming. Bull. I'm still coming because I want people to know the truth. Statement from the City of Mount Vernon. The City of Mount Vernon confirms that Officer Derek Williams has officially retired as of April 2026, following the extension of benefits approved by the mayor in last December. This concludes the city's involvement in this matter related to his request for an extension to be able to retire. We thank him for his service and extend our best wishes to him and his family. At this time, any further inquiries should be directed to Mr. Williams' legal representative. A crock of it. They trying to cover their buttocks because they knew I was coming and I worked in the system and I know what they're doing. They don't want to pay this brother almost $600,000. That's the honest to God truth. But he went out in 2024, was it, Derek? Oh, damn. 2023, top salary comp. Back pay plus interest. Oh, Jesus, that's even more. We look at almost $750,000 then that the city of Mount Vernon would have to pay this officer. Now, getting to the good stuff, the honest to God truth. There is no formalized light duty at Mount Vernon PD, but past practice dictated that it exists. Officer Williams was told that it doesn't exist. Okay, let's get to the real good stuff. This is really going to cause you to go, okay? Give me 1 second. Okay. Derek Williams had requested a 207C hearing numerous times. It was denied. Under state law, they were supposed to afford Derek Williams a 207C hearing. Now we're going to speak to another administrative body from Mount Vernon PD, Deputy Chief Goldman. Well, he and I had words when I retired, so I have no love for him. And I don't care if he came out here now. I would tell him to his face what I said when I retired. You want to play with me? Your name will be the second name on a lawsuit. First the city of Mount Vernon, then Captain Goldman as respondents in the lawsuit. And I will win that lawsuit. You want to play with me? At that time, I left the office and I ran into Deputy Police Commissioner Richard Burke. I told him what I told Goldman. 2 days later, the course of Spring Valley called me, Mr. Moore, your pistol permit is ready. Goldman would not give me a good boy letter. Burke stepped in his buttocks and said, do the right thing. Why does it take to threaten somebody to get positive results? Okay, I just want to make sure y'all hear me, because I'm about to read the truth here. Okay. And okay, I've been apprised that the camera's battery is going to go off momentarily, so I got to speed this up. On April 15th of this year, Derek Williams was notified by Personnel Officer Deputy Chief Michael Goldman. Dear Officer Williams, please be advised that your application for GML Section 207C benefits referenced above has been received by this office. After careful review of the available records and documentation, it has been determined that there is insufficient medical evidence establishing that you sustained an injury or illness in the performance of duty as required under GML 207C. Therefore, the city is hereby denying your claim for benefits. He asked several times for a 207C hearing. This letter is proof that they denied him his due process of a 207C hearing. The second paragraph. In addition, City of Mount Vernon Police Department Administrative Guide 2.022, injuries sustained on duty, requires a member of the department who is injured on duty to immediately notify the injured member's immediate supervisor. Failure to do so shall prohibit claim for injury suffered. Here, your MV5 was filed on January 8, 2026, and appears to allege that you sustained a work-related COVID-19 infection in March of 2022, but no such claim for an injury or illness alleged that you sustained a work-related COVID-19 infection in March of 22. Your claim is hereby denied as untimely. This determination is made without prejudice to the city's right to supplement blah, 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 blah. This letter was a crock of it. First paragraph, it states that he provided insufficient medical evidence. On July 28th, Brother Jones provided the city council with all documentation and evidence. That evidence was supplied to the mayor, human resources, and other officers here in the city of Mount Vernon. So that's a crock of it. That was to cover their buttocks. The second one, he didn't notify a supervisor. Well, the procedure of calling out sick is calling the desk boss, who holds the rank of sergeant or higher, that you're calling out sick, the reason why you're calling out sick. Officer Williams did that. Otherwise, why did they give him 30 days, whatever the phrase is, off with pay if they didn't know he had COVID? Your mayor, she is the root of all this problem. It would have taken a simple phone call to headquarters. Listen, guys, make this right. No, she sit her fat buttocks in her office and claims she's a Bible-toting woman. Meanwhile, in a press release in December of 2025, she says, oh, my mother's going through dialysis. I sympathize with Officer Williams. Bullshit, because this would never have happened. Never have happened. The city of Mount Vernon attempted I got to keep this clean. They attempted to have anal sex with Officer Williams. The brothers here said, no, Brother Williams, turn to your left. Don't let him do it. Now, the brothers, Brother Jones, Brother Van Loo, we've acquired for Derek a Johnny Cochran level attorney. So Mount Vernon, and I hope Mayor Thomas, or not Mayor, Sean Patterson Howard, sees this video. We are giving you the KY now. Come court time, after Brother Williams wins, it's like, oh, I'm finished.
Oh, man.
Mount Vernon Police retired officer Donald Moore, my brother, keeps it real. I'm pretty sure the mayor see this. She's probably looking at it right now. But listen, would you take this message, take it with you, share it? I keep saying, I say it again. It was open mic today. Words mean something. Words mean a lot. And I agree with Donald Moore. Next speaker, my brother, Damon K. Jones.
Peace and blessings, everybody. I'm Damon K. Jones. I am a retired correction officer for 33 years. I am the publisher of this great, powerful paper, Black Westchester Magazine. So I'm here today on behalf of my brother Derek Williams and also on behalf of the people in this city. I lived in this city. My wife is a detective for this city. We have a business, Cupcake Cutie Boutique. We have a business in this city. We are invested in this city. And the sad thing about it is we keep seeing a dysfunctional government that do not want to serve the people. Now, I stand with Brother Derek Williams. Donnie explained all the technicalities about his case. But we also must understand when an officer gives his life to the city, and literally, Derek is giving his life. And in my opinion, the mayor and the police department has sentenced a man that's on dialysis 7 days a week to a death sentence. Because even though he has insurance, he doesn't have the full insurance. So the responsibility falls on him, not the city. Let's understand that when some of these politicians say, well, he has insurance. He retired. Yes, but he's retiring at a lower wage than what he would have if he had his 207C hearing. And as Donnie said, we did go in front of the city council, and we presented to City Councilman Andre Wallace, who is over the police department, the situation and the case law, and where the city failed, the police department made mistakes, but that shouldn't deny Officer Williams a 207C hearing. And after looking over the evidence, Councilman Andre Wallace sent a letter to the Corporation Council to give Derek Williams his 207C hearing. And they still denied him. Where is the moral compass in this city? See, you got these politicians talking about God and all this other stuff. Well, then what would Jesus have done? Huh? What would Jesus have done? Jesus would have gave that man his hearing and let him have his due process, win, lose, or draw. Because he might not have won, but we know he was going to win, and they knew he was going to win. That's why they didn't do it. Now, I've been in the city for a long time, and I've always wondered, do black lives really matter in Mount Vernon? Because Because a lot of people want to tell me, oh, well, brother, you from White Plains, man. Yeah, I might be from White Plains. But when I see how people from Mount Vernon treat each other, hell, sometimes I'm glad I'm from White Plains. Because why do we treat each other like this? It's amazing. And in personal, even personally, I had my wife attacked. I'm sorry, Miss Thomas, but he's not your son, but by former Mayor Richard Thomas, and it is what it is. Suspended 10 months. We had the Cupcake Cutie boutique shop illegally try to get shut down. This is the type of government that we have. Then Officer Bovell left him out hanging. And the only thing he was doing was the right thing, letting people know who was the bad people in their police department. And now Derek Williams. How many pastors are out here? Ain't no pastors out here. Where are the pastors that taking, where? Huh? They out here? Someone out here? Pastor out here? No, not well, we know you. We talking about the ones that want to be in the photo ops and on social media skinning and grinning in front of the mayor. When are they going to tell her, thus say the Lord? When are they going to do that? Where is the moral compass? And that's the question that we have to answer. We have to hold these people accountable. Now, I want everybody here, I want y'all to raise your hand. Everybody here, raise your hands. I want y'all to go and tell 10 people what happened here today. That's in Mount Vernon. I want y'all to tell people so they know what's going on in their city. Because I get it. I write a newspaper, right? I write a newspaper. Not everybody gets to read it. So some people don't even know because they're busy. Life is lifing and they're busy. I get that. But we have to we have to educate the people in Mount Vernon of what's going on. We can't keep putting the same people in office because they went to high school with you, they ran on your track team, and they did all this and they did all that with you, but they're not good people and honest people and people with character. That's why the city is in this condition. I know most of us here, or many of us here, watched the Black Panther. Everybody watched that movie. Mount Vernon is the Wakanda of Westchester County. But our leadership keeps giving away their vibranium. And that's the land. And that's using the people. So sooner or later, we can't keep doing the same thing and expecting different results, brothers and sisters, because that's insanity. And people outside of Mount Vernon, the rest of Westchester, look at a black city and think we're insane. So we have to change it, not just for the people in Mount Vernon, but for black people throughout Westchester County. We're supposed to be the Mecca of culture, of finance. We can't have, how are we black people and we got a dysfunctional police department and we want to talk about police brutality, but we can't keep police brutality out of a black police department with a black mayor and a black city council. So if we can't do that, that's not black excellence. That's not being the jewel of Westchester. That's showing dysfunction. So we have to change it. It has to start with the people that's here. Amen. To go out and tell other people. To even send them a video, send them the newspaper. And we got to start informing people of what's going on in this city. Because we can't keep doing it this way. It has to change. And as I close, I want everybody to stay safe, stay blessed, and stay blacktastic.
My brother Damon K. Jones keeps it real as well. Listen, undivided attention to me means a lot to me. You come out here. Excuse me, Mount Vernon Reform, I got y'all out here. I mean, y'all do what you got to do, get signatures, but these messages we need y'all to take out too. So just hear me for 5 minutes, then y'all can leave. Listen, Mount Vernon is on the downfall. I'm going to say a couple of words. Ms. Thomas is going to say a couple of words, and she's going to pray us out. There's no way in hell people in the city are satisfied or comfortable with the way the city looks. There's no way. Got to take the mic off. You understand? Taxes. Y'all voted the mayor in twice, and she taxed y'all. She said she wouldn't. They voted for her again, and she taxed y'all again. Now the school board is raising taxes. I got people I never met is messaging me about selling their houses because they got to work 7 days a week. Make that make sense. City council members, y'all got something to do with this too. Stop giving the mayor everything she wants. Tell her no. Puppets at the front of the table and the back of the table. Parking garages are ready to collapse. I reach out to the state, just letting her know that thing is ready to collapse and fall. I got engineers coming in, they're going to do inspection. So if they see this message, they come in next week. They look at the garage, they're going to shut it down. The quality of life issues in Mount Vernon are crazy. You can't walk around in Mount Vernon. What are you going to do if you ain't got no spray or nothing on you? Julia Westchester, that's where we are, right? Make it make sense. Get to the meat and potatoes. There's no accountability. When shit hits the fans here, the mayor disappears. Shootings, police, who's training the cops? Who's vetting them? Nobody. You got good officers that was in there, some I know, are shaking their head. They can't come out and speak because they know what it'll be the next damn day. Crossing guard duty probably. Listen, we got to make change. And it starts with the people. It's about us taking this damn city back. And it starts when you go vote. And she's thinking about running again 2 more years. Damn it, y'all better be ready. Get ready for the next year and a half, find a damn mayor to replace that damn chair. City council seats. Stop voting for family, friends, somebody I went to school with, my cousin's brother, my mother's uncle. And look where it's got us in 4 years. The city's on the downfall. Listen to me if you want to, Mama, keep talking about it. The ones that say the city is good, she's doing a good job, show me. My eyes is out here every damn day. Show me. The Mount Vernon's building department on the take. People waiting 1.5 years for a damn permit. It ain't going nowhere. If you ain't giving it up, you ain't gonna get it. Mount Vernon Library, I worked there for 30 years. And I ain't never seen the shit that's going on down there. Shit my language. That's what I feel right now. 30 years there. The corruption, mismanagement. I got a trustee over here came out here speaking the truth. She know what it is. Ms. Thomas knows what it is. I'll be at that meeting Monday, the 4th, or whatever day that is. Y'all need to come out forth and shut it down. A vote of no confidence. Stand up, turn your backs on Hope. I'm going to call her name, Hope Marable. Shut it down. To change the rules, to not understand the library charter, is it corruption? What you call it what you want. Listen, I'm here for y'all. Jesse Van Loo, concerned citizen, co-founder Save Mount Vernon. I'm gonna keep speaking. My boots gonna stay in the ground for you. I'm always keep it real. I could care less. I'm in these streets every damn day. I'm not just somebody that's gonna be on Facebook. I walk on the streets and let people know I'm out here. See me face to face. Talk about it. Whatever you want to do. School board can't get away from me. It's a mess. You'll see me support the ones that's running. I won't say now. It'll be on my flyer tonight. It'll be on my Facebook page tonight. It's a mess. Y'all link the dots. Y'all link the dots in the city of Mount Vernon. I mean, I don't understand it, how people think that this city is comfortable. They're satisfied. Look at 4th Avenue, Prospect. It's a damn mess. Kids wilding out. Smoke shops damn near on every corner. What are we doing? She's going to tax the hell out you again. She's preparing to run again in 2 more damn years. Trust me. Oh, but Jesse's thrown underneath the bus. Oh, don't go bad at the first black lady mayor. Oh, wow. What is we doing? You know what? When you hold an elected seat, that's right, we can address you. That's right. We can hold you accountable. It doesn't matter what race you are. That's right. Male or female, midget, damn it. We can hold you accountable. That's the way this works. Stop telling me, Jesse, no. We're not going for that no more. So, like I said, I'm leaving this mess with you. I try not to go hard, but I say what I say. We got to change, and it starts at the voting booth. Vote their asses out. It's the only way. School board, library, city hall, city council seats, and the mayor. Last should stop. Enough is enough. Ms. Thomas is going to come out and say a couple of words, and she's going to pray us out. And I appreciate everybody that spoke here today. Thank you, Reform. If you haven't signed it, go out and sign it. Thank you, Friday night. I appreciate you all for coming out, keeping it real. Moore's out here. Moore kept it real. K. Jones. That's it.
God bless you.
God bless you
this
too.
Afternoon. Yes. Father God, this evening in the precious and mighty name of Jesus Christ. Father, you told us to call upon you in the day of trouble, and you'll hear and answer our prayer. Father, your eye is on the sparrow, and you said, aren't we much more than many sparrows? Father, our city is crumbling. Father, you know all about it. From the time we get up in the morning, the very first breath we breathe, you know all about it, Jesus. We need divine intervention, like never before. Father, you can do all things but fail. So we're calling on you tonight to come into our city, Mount Vernon, and to turn it around, Father, in the name of Jesus. You said we have not because we ask not, or we ask amiss, but we ask it in the name of Jesus. Father, our leaders are failing us. They're failing the inhabitants. In the name of Jesus, we voted them in. We may have made a mistake. We may not have asked you, but we're asking you now to bring them in. I remember, I'm born here, Father, and I remember white, black, all colors. We were all one. When I graduated from Mount Vernon High School, I'm born in Mount Vernon Hospital, but when I graduated from Mount Vernon Hospital, I didn't know prejudiceness. I didn't know anything. Mayor Sharp and Mayor Davis, I didn't know that. But now it's like everything is crazy and it's out of place and it's out. Father, divine intervention. I'm praying, Father, that you'll bless each and every one. Our citizens will wake up and come together. One can chase 1,000, 2 tens 1,000. We have not because we ask not, or we ask amiss. But these things we're asking in Jesus' name. We want people that have a heart after God's heart, integrity, honesty. They're loving and kind, and they care. When I rode around with my daughter and I saw mothers with their children waiting in Chicken Hut or McDonald's to be able to go into the shelters because they couldn't go in until then because it was freezing outside. These things touch my heart. There's a lot of things. People are hurting here, and our children are dying. We had prayer in school. That's how I know most of the Psalms in the Bible. He that dwelleth in the secret place shall abide under the shadow of the earth. I know most of that because we were taught. We went to Sunday school. We had prayer. What was it? We had prayer seemingly everywhere. And we honored our mother and father that our days would be long upon the land. That's what my father told me and anybody old enough to be. So we got to bring these standards back. And we got to bring them starting over here too. In Jesus' name, Father God, bless each and every one that has come out and taken the time. And may we tell our neighbors, but we'll pray for our neighbors that they'll come out and be a part of this city again. And it'll operate once more. In Jesus' name, the way this city should operate. Be blessed each and every one. And I thank you for coming out. Because one can chase 1,000, 2 tens 1,000. So come on.
That's it. That's my book. That's my book. Right here. All right. Thank you, as usual. Listen, I'm going to do something I'm not supposed to do. Usually when you pray, you end it, but I forgot something. The Mount Vernon leadership of the PD. Find some leadership there. We're not dealing with an acting commissioner. Clean house. Before you clean his house, you got to clean his house. All right? Everybody have a great day. Thank you for coming out. Save Mount Vernon if we can. My speakers, appreciate y'all.